Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Sean Austin here again from Sean's Rabbit Train Aquaponic Producer, and we're back with another rabbit farming video for you guys. Today guys, I'm gonna take you down memory lane. We're gonna talk a bit about my experience and memory of having a rabbit association to represent the farmers. So stay tuned, we'll talk a bit more about that right after the intro. Yeah guys, so we're back and we're talking a bit today. In fact, in the past couple videos I believe I mentioned having a rabbit farmers association to represent the farmers, and I'm going to be doing an extensive video on the association and the benefits that we had personally experienced here in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm trying to get one of the former executive members to come on board and have a chat with us so we could talk a bit more about that, and maybe then farmers will get a more true understanding of how effective having an association can be. But today I'm just going to give you a little flashback of my personal experience of when the association existed and how it benefited the farmers. Okay guys, so the year was 2000. You know, when you say it like that, you realize how long ago it was, because we are in 2024 now, and I found out about TRIA, as it was called, the Trinidad Rabbit Industry Association. I found out about TRIA in the year 2000. Okay, and I found out through another rabbit farmer. Some of you may know him, a gentleman by the name of Brian Astor. At the time, he used to sell rabbit supplies, feeders, waterers, things like that. And I was just starting to build up my rabbitry towards commercial production when I met Mr. Astor through purchasing equipment, and he was the gentleman who encouraged me to attend one of the meetings and become a member. So I did, and at the time I would have to say it was a good experience, and it's one of the things that really encouraged me to go further with rabbit farming and to really take it to the next level. One of the things I distinctly remember is that whenever we attended meetings, usually someone, I don't recall how they selected the person, but someone brought a rabbit dish, a dish that was prepared with rabbit meat or some part of the rabbit. So I remember one time we had rabbit pate. You know, I think it was made from the livers and kidneys of the rabbit, you know. But these things give you ideas in terms of value add products and things like that. So the experience of being a part of the association is not just from a monetary standpoint, but just the interaction. You know, it feeds productivity and ingenuity. It gives you ideas, because you now have the opportunity to meet and mingle with many of the more experienced rabbit farmers. At the time, I was into rabbits for quite some time on my own, but I wasn't commercial. I would say I was on a backyard level. I was supplying myself and my family with meat, but I wasn't selling as much. You know, I was more focused on just supplying myself until I joined the association and I realized that there was actually a market out there for rabbit meat. And one of the beautiful things about that entire experience is that it showed me early on that I was already producing rabbit meat, and now there was a ready market. So as a young farmer coming in, even if I wanted to expand the operation, I didn't have to concern myself too much about how I would get my meat sold, because there was already a market to absorb whatever we could have produced. If my memory serves correctly, I remember that they had a contract with, I don't recall the name of the supermarket. I'm gonna ask Mr. Astor when I see him, but I know they had a couple supermarkets that they were contracted to supply with rabbit meat. And at the time, the Rabbit Industry Association, they had a certified slaughter facility at the demonstration farm in Carapo, and this was where all the farmers would deliver their rabbits live. So you simply had to focus on breeding rabbits and growing them out, and then you would deliver the rabbits to Carapo, where they would do the processing, because I believe they had someone on board to do the whole halal process and things like that. So they dealt with all of the slaughtering, the packaging, the labeling, the marketing, you know, sales like that. So it was a good thing for a young farmer getting into the business, because it took care of most of your problems. Okay? I think at one time too, they even tried purchasing kits and growing out. I don't recall if that ever got off the ground, but I remember it being mentioned in a meeting. And again, when I get one of these members to come on board, we'll clear up some of these things. But I believe that too was an option that they looked at, you know, purchasing them as kits, and they too would focus on the grow out, you know. But different strokes for different folks. Some people prefer to grow their rabbits themselves. Others would have liked that idea. So I guess, you know, there was a little of something for everyone. I also remember the association at one point in time had arranged for a couple of the members to travel abroad and bring back breeding stock that was then housed at their demonstration farm, and the offspring was sold to farmers to improve their genetic quality. As a matter of fact, the very first 2 purebred Californian bucks that I bought was from the TRIA farm. Yeah, a gentleman by the name of Borrell, I don't remember his first name, but I know his surname was Borrell. I think he was the president of TRIA at the time. Yes, and he had brought some of the stock there to sell to farmers as breeding stock. I bought 2 male Californians. That was the first 2 purebred Californians I ever owned. That was way prior to us importing our own rabbits, you know. And that was a big boost for me, because at that point in time my rabbitry took off. Now this was even before I met my brother from another mother, Sean McLean. Okay, because at the point in time we were both doing rabbits separately, until we met and realized that we shared a similar vision and mindset, and we decided to merge both operations, and that is how Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce was founded. Okay, so you all get a little insight into the background of Sean's Rabbitry there, you know. So yeah, and I mean, all of these things would not have been possible without the association at the time, because individually to accomplish a lot of these things would have cost a lot of money, you know, and most people simply don't have the cash to individually import rabbits, import cages, you know, things like that. But collectively as an association, these things are a lot easier to accomplish. Then obviously you can always try to get some assistance from the government, but these things could only happen with proper representation. You know, no one individual can appeal to the government to assist a particular industry, but with proper representation these things could happen, and it was happening. Now I don't want to speculate as to why the association stopped functioning, because at the time, like I said, my rabbitry was taking off and I had a really wide market to market. Because at the time I was still a member of the police service, I was marketing to all my colleagues. You know, I was getting meat sold without having to go through the association. Now that is not to say the association wasn't functioning. It was functioning, but for me at the point in time, the rabbits I had, I was getting all sold at a price superior to what the association was offering, you know, so I chose to go that way. These things will only work to a point. As long as you want to capitalize and capture those really huge markets, especially those export markets, you must have collaboration. You must come together and team up, because I don't think there's a single rabbit farmer in Trinidad and Tobago that could supply any export market consistently on their own. Right? If I'm wrong, challenge me on that. Let me know. Someone drop it in the comment section and let me know who could do it. Right? I don't doubt anyone. If you could do it, fine, but I doubt it could be done because of the simple economies of scale. Trinidad is such a small country, and when you look at the size, even if you look at the US, one city inside of a state, inside of the whole country, is still bigger than Trinidad and Tobago put together. You know, land space as well as population wise. So for us to supply a really large consumer in a foreign country, it would be difficult to accomplish without some form of association bringing all the members together to lock those type of markets, you know. But like I said, I'm not going to speculate too much. I'm going to try to get one of the executive members to come on board and sit down and have a chat with me, probably in our next video. I'll see if I could get that done, and we'll get a little more insight into how the thing functioned and what we think went wrong and what we could do in the future to prevent the same from happening. Okay guys, so look out for that video. Again, continue to give me your thoughts and your feedback. I'm hearing you guys, and I'm working in the background with a number of people. I'm not going to talk too much about it as yet, because I personally believe that there are persons out there who don't want this to succeed. Okay, so I'm not going to give them that opportunity anymore to try and sabotage something that could benefit the majority. Okay, so we're working in the background on some stuff. As soon as we get to a point where we're ready for general input, I'm gonna bring it to you guys. But at that stage, it's gonna be more or less functioning already, because like I say, I'm not looking for too much small talk and collaboration, right? I want this thing to work, and we're gonna make it work. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you all think about these benefits. If these are things that you all are interested in, let me know in the comment section, and let other persons know by putting it in the comment section as well. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there for today. I think I rambled enough, and I'm gonna try and get that person to come on board and have a sit down with me, so you all can have a clearer view of how things went and where it went wrong. So we're gonna leave it there for today. Until next week, please God, I'm Sean Austin, on behalf of my business partner Sean McLean, Sean's Rabbitry and Aquaponic Produce. We're signing out. We see you guys in the next video.